Bakersfield Speedway. The date is August 26th as we get ready for the Mike Moshier Classic here, a special event that we've had for the last few years. An event to honor one of, if not the greatest racing announcers ever. Mike Moshier was a good friend of ours. We certainly could say that it was our pleasure that we were able to know him during his life. Did a lot of years of announcing out here at Bakersfield Speedway. And he certainly has made his impact. I don't know anyone who did not love Mike Moshier. He's one of those guys who he could pull out a saying right out of his cap, make up something exciting, something that stuck. One of his famous sayings when something wild happened on track, holy guacamole. But I know that Tommy and I both, Tommy would agree with me as far as Mike really helps mold a lot of people into the type of entertainers they are, whether it's the racers on track or us as announcers. And certainly had an impact on us. So this is the night to honor his memory. Green flag is in the air with the American stocks. He raced number 1 of 2. Into turn number 1 we go. Nicholas Johnson, the one-in machine, jumps to the early lead. Brody Schweitzer in the 95 going to follow through to the second spot. And you have Gary Spiller looking at the inside. Last time we saw Spiller out here, it was a hard hit in the turn number 3 wall. Spiller looking for redemption tonight. See how slick it is. Brandon Radcliffe, that number 3, he challenges for the 3rd spot as some cars are being banging in the back, still leaning on each other. And it's a flat left rear tire for the 11 machine. Swing it out wide. Roger Welch in the 74, and the car we usually see Welch in, the 21RR of Isaac Dotson, catches the wall. And then you see this 11 machine of Cody Johnson pulling it into the pit area with a flat left rear tire. Holding the lead is Nicholas Johnson. 2nd spot held by Schweitzer. Battle continues for 3rd. Radcliffe, Spiller. Spiller holds the spot in the white number 7. So usually we see a Dotson in the 74 and a Welch in the 21. Today we see a Dotson in the 21 and into the wall. That one didn't feel good. As Isaac Dotson pancaked the wall to turn number 4. Here comes Radcliffe into the wall. I think they're finding that if they go a little bit too wide and out of turn number 4, there's a slick spot, and they lose all that traction. Spiller looking for the 2nd spot to the inside of Schweitzer. Here comes Welch. These are American stocks, though. I don't think they're just going to stop because of a little bit of contact with the wall. Looks like Schweitzer's off a pace in the 95 machine. One of the few cars who hasn't caught the wall, to my knowledge. White flag flying for Johnson. American stocks usually are the lucky ones who get to help do the last bits of packing down the track. I think Schweitzer might be overheating. Car pulled it right over to the water truck. Checkered flag for Nicholas Johnson. And Welch gets hit by what used to be his own car and gets hit again. Curious about the story about the swap there. But that concludes the first heat race of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mike Moshier Classic, if that's any sign, it's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild one tonight. Hold on to your hats and glasses. Or as Mike Moshier would say, holy guacamole.
I don't know what I do with it, but I'd love to have one. Yeah, you're going to Disneyland next week. I'm going to Disneyland. Monday, I'm taking my
so here you see Schweitzer's machine. Get a bit of a hose down there. Just cooling things down a little bit.
Since last week, right now, I'm excited for heat race number 2. Right, and on the pole will be that.
All right. Well, the 95 machine looks like he's going to back it out. Heat race number 2 for you fine folks.
The RPM collision center, RPM page, Bakersfield page, Real quick, this is Jim Paddock, Junior Motorsports. It's Casey Johnson. Row number 2, Bakersfield flying in ranch. JR Motorsports to Ashley Rebars. And after line guard in Teletext is J.D. Mueller on the outside from the 52 from Ashley Line Guard. Bakersfield Paint, good folks here. JR Motorsports. Kristen Mueller and the Myrick family. That's Darren Mueller. So we pick up row number 3. Will be
all right.
The racing for wild card.
Getting ready to go for heat race number 2. 24 machine. That is Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson's had a wild year in American stocks. Done his fair share of getting upside down and all sorts of exciting moments for the 24 car. 26. Casey Johnson starting outside row number 1. 4RR of Candy Varney. 7X machine of Mark Torres. And then you got the 52 of Daryl Mueller. Now, the person who was supposed to start on the inside of row number 2 was going to be the number 14 machine of J.D. Mueller. Now, J.D. broke his right rear axle, so that's going to be a tough one for Mueller, but they were already working on it earlier. Broke it during the hot lap session, so they're still working on getting that car pieced back together. Should be able to. I would anticipate they'll be back, unless anything additional broke in that one. But here comes Johnson to the inside of Johnson. They make it work. Tyler Johnson, always known as tough with meat. I think we. Nope, I thought maybe Mueller in the 52 had a flat right front. You can see how much that car's leaning and bouncing. We're just gonna watch this car for a lap. Check this out. Oh yeah. This car's gonna topple over just by going through the turn. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Well, here's up front, Tyler Johnson leading Casey Johnson, Candy Varney in a car that they won out here a few weeks ago. Race ready American stock, and they're proving it. They had a mechanical issue in the last race, but I saw them out. It was KCRP last week. They're back out here. Talked to Candy a little bit about driving this car versus what she usually races, which are the Mod Lights, which is still a fairly new division out here, but definitely growing in popularity. Mod Lights are basically smaller, but maybe a little bit faster, close to speed of dwarf cars. And yeah, Candy was joking, saying, "Man, in these American stocks, I get to check out the scenery. I get to look at the scoreboard. I could even eat a bag of chips during the race. Where in the Mod Lights, there's a lot going on, even down the straightaways. So, got to see if Candy is eating her bag of chips here." Nope, I don't think so. Maybe saving that for the main event. Here's your battle for the lead. There's the 52. White flag in the air for Tyler Johnson. Leading over Casey Johnson and Candy Varney. Torres in the 7X holds the 4th spot. Mueller goes wide. And checker flag to Tyler Johnson. Casey Johnson. Candy Varney, Mark Torres. And they're going to give the 52 Mueller a hard time, it looks like. Because why not? Come on, Mueller, come on. Come on. Yeah! Checker. Next up, new division. Good fields out here for the sport mods and modifieds. So we get ready for race number 1 for the sport mods. Starting on the inside of row number 1, the 40 machine, that is Nick Spainhoward. Outside of him, the number 12 of James Dump Cecil. Then we have the number 4 machine of Garrett Jernigan and the 55, a fresh body on that one, Matt Lewis. He said he didn't expect it to look this good by the end of the night. Now that's a driver with realistic expectations. 20S machine, that's the Dragon Slayer Lee Jensen 00 out of Yuma, Arizona, Crystal Hempel. In rounding out the field, this was a cool little story here. Show him in a second. that's all. Oh boy. Cecil goes for the lead back to 4th in 1 lap. Lewis looks to the inside to take away another spot. So yeah, that 57X machine, Tim Carey, started racing back in 1975. Did some racing for years, racing in modified stocks. And then this driver decided to take a 27-year break. He's now in his 2nd race back, 27-year break. I said it's just like riding a bike, right? He's like, oh no, these sport mods are pretty hard to get down. So welcome back to racing, Tim Carey. Checkered flag for Spainhour. You see the damage on the back. Jernigan, Jensen, Cecil at 55 machine. Driver that used to race in American stocks, Matt Lewis. Hempful, and there is Tim Carey Sr. So how about that? 1975. So let's see. He raced from 1975, 27-year break. So basically, he almost hasn't been racing as long as I've been around. A bit of a rivalry just kind of going down between, it looked like, Cecil and Spainhour. Maybe they had some contact there. Apparently, Cecil wasn't feeling too good about whatever just transpired. Spainhour takes the win in that one. Sport mods. Who would have thought that they'd be going crazy, huh? It's not like it's what they regularly do or anything. All right, so we get ready for our next batch of heat races. This is going to be a 6-car dash for 8 laps. 83 machine of Jason Nation starts on the pole with the number 32 machine, Tina Pounds, back on track, aiming to hit up a lot of the bigger races this year. And the 09 machine of Brian Holders, 04M machine of Austin Manzella, the 0Z machine of Dale Coons, and Joey Dominguez in the 85. Faces here tonight, or some less offensive faces. Pounds takes 3 wide into turn number 1. Manzella on the outside, Holder kind of in that middle. Dominguez looking for a way around. 85 can't find somewhere to go. That's all battle for the 3rd position. He had the best sayings. I don't care who you are. Good old Mike Moshier. That's who we're celebrating tonight at the Mike Moshier Classic. Standing among the Mike Moshier Tower. And Tina Pounds taking the win. Race number 3. 22C machine Michael Johnson starting on the pole with the 7C of Clint Rickenback starting outside. binder it to the ground. And that is a wrap on the sport mods until they get to main event racing later on. Before us now, we have the IMCA Modified Heat Race number 1. Modifieds tonight, they're really the big show as they will be going for not 25, but double it, folks. 50 laps of main event action here at Bakersfield Speedway, and we're going to see their heat races happening. They have more than their cap on the maximum field size, but they said, you know what? Let's run them all. So we're going to have more than 22 cars racing out here on this main event tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. For 50 laps, it's going to be a wild one. We already saw heat races happening for American stocks, sport mods, and then after these guys do their heat races, we'll see the pro stocks taking their laps in the heat racing. They did qualifying earlier on. One more car joining the group here as we prepare to go racing. Starting lineup time. 71 machine. Talked to him earlier in the pit area, Bill Wilker. He's excited to be on out here. Also excited to be picking up a new chassis here soon. Going to be making a trip out to I think the Midwest or Mideast or something, not in California, and that's for sure. Starting outside of him, I think they already have a contact, the 14J machine, Justin Dunn. I think he's got quite the viewing party happening out here tonight, viewing on lowbudget.tv. So I want to give a shout out to all you. 1P machine of Scott Pounds, 98 machine Alex Stanford, the 111 machine of Logan Drake, and the 222 of Brad Pounds. Green flag is in the air. It'll be 8 laps for each of these heat races. Oh, Drake almost gets into it. They still want to have a good finish in this race. I know the Sport Mod's doing a draw-redraw tonight. I think these cars are too, and if that is the case, you're going to want to finish in the top 3 for a chance to start up front. Wilker right now looking to lead this one away. Got down, racing the inside of Stanford. Stanford, the 988 machine, almost some contact. Maybe they clipped each other there out of the turn. See the brakes glowing on the 98 machine as he throws it into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4, Wilker leads at the halfway point in this 8-lap heat race. Justin Dunn slipped to the rear of the pack. Drake sitting in the 5th position. Ahead of him is the dominating Brad Pound. And he's in the top 3. They're all chasing here. 3 laps to go. Wilker looking to take the win in this heat race. Single file throughout the pack. Fairly calm heat race from what we've seen today. The American stocks were getting all sorts into each other, but here comes Stanford to the inside. A last lap challenge as the white flag flies. Stanford look at the inside of Wilker. Wilker holds him off on the outside line. Through turns 3 and 4 to come to the checkered. It's going to be Wilker taking the win in the first heat race. Stanford second. Scott Pounds, Brad Pounds, Logan Drake, and Justin Dunn round out the finishing order in heat race number 1 for IMCA Modifieds. Starting lineup for this one, the 72 machine Kevin Irwin, 175 Ethan Dotson, 22 of Dave Phipps, the 12W of Brian Wolfenstein, Brian Clark in the 51B, and the 198 machine of the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer. Robbie getting held up just a little bit right there. Behind Dave Phipps in the 22 machine. Early lead to Irwin. Oh, yeah. Battle for the lead, battle for 3rd, battle for 5th. Side by side rounds for the caboose of the field in that 8-lap heat race. Getting ready for heat race number 3, John Piker in that 28 heat machine on the pole. Brett Bennett to his outside. 78, Jordan Hager. I didn't expect that name to be in the 78, but there he is. And then the 2 machine of Bobby Ho. Rounding out this field, the 11 machine of Rob Sanders and the 5L of Cody Laney. A lot of heavy hitters in this one. Again, you want to set yourself up to get into that draw-redraw. I do not have full confirmation that this does have the draw-redraw, but I know the Sport Monster doing it tonight, so I anticipate that these drivers might be as well. If that's the case, you want to finish in the top 3. 12 cars for the redraw. That means you can finish 3rd in one of these heat races and potentially start on the pole. So everyone's fighting for that 3rd spot right now. Piker to the inside. No, excuse me, Piker to the outside. Laney to the inside. Hager in that 78 machine in the middle. Up front, it's Bennett leading over Hogue. Behind it, Sanders trying to catch up in the 11. Look at the inside of Bennett. We saw the same thing play out between Irwin and Dotson in the last race. If Bennett's able to maintain a slightly higher line, could be in play. So hold off Hogue. Bennett goes way wide. Hogue jumps to the inside and takes the lead. Behind them, the battle for 3rd rages on. Piker's still holding off Laney, but he's got 2 and more like 1.5 laps to do it. Bennett fights back to the inside of Hogue, and trouble in the back between Sanders and Hager. Caution flag will fly. We ain't done yet. Lap 7 of 8. So green-white restart to settle this 8-lap heat race. Hogue leads over Bennett. Piker holds on to the 3rd spot. Laney trying to get into the top 3. Hager, Sanders. Everyone's still in it. Who's gonna win it? Well, Hogue got a great restart there. Carried it all the way through turns 1 and 2. He's gonna see the checkered out, and he's gonna take the checkered at the line. Who's gonna be the one? It's gonna be Laney beating Piker back for the 3rd spot. Set up that pass in the center of turns 3 and 4. Piker went wide. Laney dove to the inside. And that was it. Hogue wins the heat race. Heat race number 4 of the IMCA Modifieds. 13 machine Jerry Flippo started on the pole with X machine and Kyle Heckman on the outside. 2J's Justin Schweitzer. And then we got the 254 machine of Garrett Burnett and the 8 of John Jensen. You want to win the heat race, it's bragging rights. You want to finish in the top 3. Heckman to the inside and around Flippo. We should call him Kyle Hexman. Yeah. Flippo hanging it wide in that 13 machine on the outside of Schweitzer. Behind them, it's Jensen to the inside of the 254. Burnett, there's your battle for 2nd. Schweitzer just waiting for his car to settle there through the turn. Kyle Heckman pulling away here. That X machine looking real good in this heat race. Like I said, we're past the cap as far as the starting lineup, but they said, let's run them all. We will be running over 22 cars on this small 3rd mile for the main event. Jensen's starting to close in on these guys, closing in on Schweitzer for 3rd. I think we talked about that position potentially more important than winning the heat race. It's like a bit of a dip starting to form over in turn number 3. Looking right here, this area. Pro Stock Heat Race number 1 gives us the 38 Team Machine of Doug Thornton, the 54 Brady Bell, 43K of David King, green flag, 41 JT Justin Crockett, 87 machine of Chris Clinton, and the 78S of Ricky Childress Jr. Now, I saw the 77 of Bill Bartels was supposed to start in this race, but he's not here. Hopefully Wild Bill is doing all right. We'll be here for the main event. Thornton off to an early lead over Bell. Still a bit dicey back here for the 3rd spot. They call him the outlaw, Ricky Childress Jr. to the outside of Crockett. They're just hanging it a little wide. A little bit of contact. Nothing these cars aren't used to. Brady Bell starting to close in on Thornton, who opened up an early lead in the first few laps. Halfway through this heat race, and Bell is closing the gap quickly. And the 87 machine just hit the ball. Clinton able to continue on. Just through a few sparks, not too bad. Can Bell do anything with Thornton? At the line, he's going to have 2 laps to go. Around goes the outlaw, and also off the pace is Clinton down the back straightaway. I wonder if this car caught the wall again. Or maybe just got squirrely. Doesn't look any worse for wear. However, Childress's machine, he spun it out. I'll be curious to see if we see that 77 machine of Bill Bartels out in the next heat race. Looks like Childress is just going to need a push to get going, but an uncharacteristic spin for the 78 driver. We'll have 1 heat race left to go after this. I believe after that heat race, we will then have an intermission. For a few laps as they get things all set and ready to go for the run to the end of the night before main events. We have some secondary shots out on the track. Those cameras are used as emergency shots in the event that we miss something. Sometimes big things happen when we're just not looking in the right direction. Well, 2 laps to go. 2-lap shootout. It's still hot out here, folks. We're still well into the 90s. As we watch for the green, it's in the air. King in the 3rd spot looks to the inside of Bell, who did not get a good exit out of turn number 2. Crockett right on King's bumper. White flag. Bell might be able to do something with Thornton, but Thornton's just been very consistent. He'll try, but the car just wouldn't hold on that outside line. At least enough for him to make that move. To the inside goes King, but to the checker flag comes the 38 Thornton takes the win. Checker. All right, final heat race of the night. Heat race number 2 for the Pro Stock. Starting on the poles, the 13M machine of Matt Mayo. Outside of him is the 50 of Chris Smith. Billy the Kid Simpkins in the 68. Starts to the inside of run number 2. The 72 machine, the Dragon Slayer, one of the most beautiful Pro Stocks I've ever seen. That car is also, if you can read it, for sale. And then rounding out this field, the 29 machine of Hollywood, Tina Bell. A lot of the nicknames that we lay off here, by the way, at Bakersfield Speedway, a lot of those came from Mike Moshier. He was the one who came up with a bunch of the wacky names that you hear us call out here. And we love him for it. He was such a fun guy. Really knew how to, I mean, it was if ever. I mean, it was such a, you just never saw the guy not smiling. Mike Moshier, the race doctor, Mayo with an issue. And that's going to hand over the lead to Smith in the 50. But this is why we're here tonight, honoring Mike Moshier Classic on the Mike Moshier Tower. I had a lot of racing stories, even if he only had one leg. I loved our Mike Moshier. Out of turn number 4, looks like an issue for Lee Jensen. He's pulling it to the infield. Some kind of mechanical issue for the 72 machine. Doesn't get it quite to the infield here on lap number 5. Might throw the caution because of this. No, it doesn't look like it. Next time by going to be the white flag. That will be for the 50 machine of Smith. Mayo opens the door for Sebkins. Almost have contact down the back straightaway there. Hanging back there is Tina Bell as well. That car's bouncing a lot. That 50 machine. Chris Smith looking to take the win here in this heat race. He's going to come out of turn number 4. Is that thing smoking up? Checkered flag, but I think the 50 machine may have been blowing up. Right when he was crossing the line and taking out tractor tires.
I don't know what it is. I hope something minor, but man, that was
oh man.
pretty horrific.
Talk about going from the highs to the lows. That's 2 cars with mechanical issues. You see them both right here. Smith takes the win in the heat race, but hopefully that's not the last time we see that car on track tonight. Mayo 2nd, Simpkins 3rd, Tina Bell takes it home in the 4th spot. Well, that's a wrap here. For those watching delayed on YouTube, thank you for tuning in here on Low Budget TV or LBTV Productions on YouTube or on Facebook on Low Budget TV. And a reminder that we do a lot of these events live, so you can tune in and check them out. Join us on a live night in the future. You can see all of our racing events and know what's coming up next on Low Budget TV on Facebook. So thank you, those on YouTube, tuning in. Have a good night.